Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. Well, I got a bunch of Olight goodness I need to get to. Now, what I did is I packed this stuff up and headed out into the woods for a few days, and when I came back to civilization, suddenly I was inundated with all kinds of videos about different Olight products that just released, and I'm there too. So what I thought I would do is supplement what I've seen already out there. Now, Cheule's, there's a link below to his channel. He really goes into some of the details of the operation of this Perun 3. What I'm going to do is talk about actual uses of it and experience with it. Now, the Perun 3 is the next generation. Here's the Perun 2. And I did like this light. I do like this light. There are a couple of things that I appreciate about it and some more that I really appreciate about this, but maybe didn't even think much about it. One is, a lot of times, when this is in the headlamp configuration, to turn it on, you may not know the orientation depending on what you're doing. So you grab it by the end, you grab the ends of it, and you get the bright light into your hand, which is right above your eyes, which is pretty blinding. This one, you can go to the edge and pinch it with your hand not in the way. You could obviously put your hand in the way if you wanted to, but you don't have to. You can do it from the side, no problem. If you grab this end and pinch it because you don't know the orientation, nothing happens. So this is a vertical pinch. It's a brilliant design. We really need to go to that because so many times you're wearing this as a headlamp, you go out, and you grab it this way because that's how you turn it on. Or this way is another way if it's in the center. Here, I can move off to the side and I'm not going to blind myself by having that super bright hand right in front of my face. Now that's one thing. The other is, you notice it's pretty large. Now, I've used the smaller ones. I even carried one of these in Nepal. Great lights, fabulous. But sometimes it's nice to think of storing your extra batteries in the battery in the big light. So you don't have to worry about swapping anything out because you could go through the equivalent of 2 batteries with this thing as it's configured. Which is a long time, especially if you're not using it for that long and you're using it in the lower settings. So that's primary use case. Where this doesn't fit, well, under certain kinds of helmets, depending on what you're doing. If you are in a activity that bounces around a lot, which can be trail running or mountain biking at night or when you need a light, that may be too much for this amount of mass, so that's when you'd want to switch to something smaller and lighter. The other thing is they updated the way this fits, and the reason that's important is because you can pop this thing out just like that from this clip, and this one took a little bit more effort, so it's very fast to swap this from something that you are using as a kind of a backpack or standalone light, area light, belt light, etc. And then you can see that you've got a track in here for the clip, and you just line it up and snap it in and go to town. And the reason that's important is because a lot of times if you have to spend effort pulling this thing out, which you can do, it's not a huge deal, or trying to line it back up, you're not going to do it. Whoop, my Stonehenge arc felds fell down. Got a bit tied into that. Anyway, so here you go with a really significant light. What do we have on here? The top end's 3,000 lumens. Comes out of each of these 3 emitters right there. It does have a 5 lumen moonlight. You can see in some of these night shots, I've got red, I've got a brighter red, a lesser red. I have the full turbo, which of course is 3,000, followed by 600, followed by 120, and 30, and 5. You also have strobe, SOS, and there are some other things, other tricks up the sleeve of this light, including a timer, including being able to disable this proximity sensor. Go to Cheule's channel if you want to see how to do that. I'm not going to spend the time here, but those features are available. As far as a a light or a battery in this thing for the light. You've got this monster 21700 5000 milliamp. And if you look at this, because of the insulation around here, this is a single-sided battery. Everything is on one end. That's both good and bad. One, it's a proprietary battery on this side, but it also means that you can probably get away with other versions of 21700s if they have the right contacts. For me, I'm honestly not worried about it. I'm not, traveling, across the Gobi Desert with just this light. What I do think is for the runtime, and all you do is do the calculations. You're thinking, okay, I'm going to use it mostly on medium or lower. I can fire it up, as you've seen, like right here, where I'm firing it across this field. If I need that, great, but most of it's medium or lower. That's 25 hours. Okay, that's 1 hour a day for almost a month. Most of the time, I'm not going to run it for 1 hour at the medium setting. Where I would run it for longer is probably in the moonlight or in the low setting. Right there, and that's probably for reading a book in the tent or something, or in the camper. Overall, great light, solid light, on sale now. Of course, that'll end, but it doesn't matter. It's a good light. There's always going to be something better in the future, but if you are seriously interested in a large, full-service headlamp with a full range of bright white light and 2 red lights and the complement of other hidden features, this is definitely it. Comes in different colors. I wanted an orange one. I like the orange lights. Make me happy. Anyway, there it is. I use this extensively outdoors, and it's great. I have no hesitations unless I'm, like I said, trail running or mountain biking, and that's simply because of the mass. It's going to bounce around. Let me know what you think. But there it is. That's my contribution to the Perun 3 from Olight's launch. And with that, dock out. But this one's on the side, so you can easily control it. Fabulous light. It's a little heavy for a headlamp, but definitely, if you want something, this is it.